Just a quick thought here. But a lot of people are really upset about my video where I talked about my frustration with ketogenic diets and all the lies and misinformation out there, etc. And I have to laugh because people are so upset about it. People are like, "Oh, you don't know what you're talking about." I drink whey protein and eat peanut butter, and I'm in ketosis and whatever, whatever. It's cool. Listen, there is no one ratio that you have to eat in order to be in ketosis, but there is an established ketogenic ratio in the medical literature. And the only thing I would like to point out to people is that not everyone is interested in ketogenic diets because they're bodybuilders. If you're a bodybuilder, do what works for you to gain muscle and, everything like that. But a lot of people are interested in ketogenic diets because they're researching it for, an adjunct to chemotherapy because they have cancer, or people are doing it because they have bipolar or epilepsy, um, Parkinson's, Alzheimer's. Lots of people are interested in ketogenic diets because of actual medical problems. And that's why I talk about the ketogenic ratio from a therapeutic and medical standpoint. Um, I'm not talking about ketogenic ratios for, oh, this is how you gain the most muscle. I'm talking about ketogenic ratios for the scientific community. This is what a ketogenic ratio is. Uh, if that isn't what you're interested in, please don't don't follow what I tell you. I've never advocated that anyone has to do it this way. I just tell you that this is what the literature says. If you want to be in nutritional ketosis, you need to eat lower protein than most people are telling you to, and to eat higher fat. Um, that's just all there is to it. So if you're following a ketogenic diet because you want to be in nutritional ketosis, this is how it's done. If you are interested in following a ketogenic diet because you want to be a bodybuilder and you want to get shredded, you just want to do a low carb diet, there are guys out there. John Anderson is a great example. He eats nothing but like ground beef and steak. Now that's certainly not going to be 80% fat, 15% protein, and 5% carbohydrate. That's like zero carbohydrate. And that's cool. If that works for him, that's awesome. But you know what? If you had epilepsy or some other condition where you actually needed to maintain a state of ketosis, I absolutely would not tell you to follow that diet. And I don't think John would either. I can't speak for him, but you know, context matters. The reason you're doing the diet and your physical state, whether you're sick and you're dealing with some disease, or you're just doing this to build muscle, or you're doing it to lose fat, or whatever you're doing it for, that changes the diet. I wouldn't recommend the same diet to someone who's preparing to run a decathlon, to a person who's trying to lose weight, to a person who's trying to manage their epilepsy, to a person who's trying to manage type 1 diabetes, to you see how the context changes rapidly. Okay, if you're preparing for a bodybuilding show, you've got to eat differently than someone who is, following a ketogenic diet because, they're just trying to stave off the progression of Alzheimer's. Like, that's all there is to it, guys. I'm sorry if I upset people, but I just was trying to be accurate with the scientific information. I genuinely don't care uh, what macros people eat. I'm just telling you what the research says. I'm not even a ketogenic diet advocate. I I have used ketogenic diets, but I've also done vegan diets. I've also done really high carb diets. Um, I use whatever diet fits my needs at that time. If I'm doing a lot of sprint work, you better believe I'm eating carbs. But if I'm not, let's say I'm injured and I'm laid up on the couch and I'm waiting for some injury to heal, like I broke a leg or something like that. If I broke my leg, yeah, I'd probably just sit around eating a ketogenic diet because what the hell do I need all those carbs for? I don't need a high carb diet to sit on the couch and watch bone heal. You know what I mean? So I'm sorry if that upset people, but I mean, I'm just trying to be accurate with the information. If you guys come across some medical literature out there telling you to eat 80% protein and 20% fat, please send it my way. Um, you know, I'll read it and I'll even talk about it. But until that happens, I'm just going to stick with the research that's out there, and that's all I'm doing. I'm just reading you guys the research. Um, if you want to read it yourself, please do. If you don't feel like reading it because you don't like reading through peer-reviewed journals or you don't have access to them because you're not a college student, then go ahead and watch my channel. I'll talk about them. Cool?